for some reason. And I did like a 2-minute video, literally just talking to myself about how I can't get it together. Um, so they banned me. I'm not sure what a super producer is, but they immediately told me I could not use the super producer thing because I somehow had violated or Twitter code of conduct, so to speak.
Well, are you already violating and getting kicked off of stuff?
I 2 minutes of me literally talking about nothing, and I don't mean anything offensive. Not even. I'm rambling. And shout out to Monica for sharing the live stream.
Thanks, Monica.
Yeah, Monica's dope though. Shout out to you. And if you are listening and you have been a victim of sexual harassment, double stand. I mean, we took the double standards approach. I don't want people to think that we minimize, sexual harassment in any facet, but it is treated differently. We have to admit that.
Mm-hmm. I would admit that.
Yeah, well, sometimes people don't want to hear, the unpopular side of the story. And I don't know what we got. Generally, like 1 more minute. Hold on, let me hit a couple more people, and then I guess we could jump into the conversation. It's just me and you and a couple of people listening anyway. So, and shout out to y'all. Man, I was gonna play another song, but I don't want to go so not with the topic. I don't want to go too crazy with it. So, yeah, that would just be kind of weird, playing a certain type of song and then want to talk about something. I can't do that. But I will say, like, if you've tuned into the show, a few times, you may know that I'm a nurse, and in being so, I'm in a field that's dominated by women. The shit that I have heard women say at work, the things that I see them wear, the way that they intrude upon my personal space outside of work in some occasions, had I done the same thing to them, I'd be fired. Yeah. And I have jokingly over the years, I never really, like if I need to tell somebody chill out, that's never been a problem for me. But I've never went to like management and been like, such and such is sexually harassing me in a serious manner. Like I may joke about it and say, hey, that's sexual harassment, but I don't want to be that guy that goes to management and say that some woman was harassing me.
Not
and therein lies the problem. Huh?
But if it was a man, you would say something.
Actually, no. I would say something to that individual.
And if he kept doing it, you would say something.
If he kept doing it, I would wait for that individual in the parking lot and beat their ass. They gonna stop.
So you gonna whoop his ass, but you're not gonna whoop the lady's ass. That won't take no for an answer, but you're gonna whoop his ass.
I am not. And the thing with women though, and it's not even. It's like it seems like with the men, if you get accused, that you are guilty until proven innocent. And now I can see if you have, it was recent, like with Trump, like you got caught on TV saying some abuse, some shit that if done would be harassment and or assault. But you got multiple women. I can understand your employer saying, okay, you know what, we're going to sit you down. Not fire you, not you have to quit. Let's sit you down and see how this is going. I could see that. If it's too many women in the office, every woman in the office, yeah, they're going to fire your ass. But if it's one person, why is that treated like it's 30?
Well, if we're talking about just like currently at the moment, sexual harassment and rape culture just happens to be a huge topic in the media at the moment. And it is unfortunate thing, but it's a catch-22 because for so long women have been speaking their truth, and it gets swept under the rug, or you're being dramatic, you overreacting, or the person was just being friendly, or the H&R, whoever just doesn't take it that seriously, especially if the person that's harassing you is of a higher position. It just doesn't always, women don't get the benefit of the doubt because of how patriarchal society has been historically. Now, honestly, the majority of what's going on now ain't got to do with black people, so I don't particularly, have an opinion on, whether it's a good or a bad thing. It's not our people going through the foolishness. I just wish we had gave it back to them. Oh, we should be giving it back to them the way they was giving it to Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really getting that anywhere. But it is unfortunate. But now, feminism has made its way into just as much popularity as the LGBT. You know what I'm saying? Community. And
what does that have to do with sexual harassment?
Because women will quickly say, "Oh, it's because I'm a woman. It's sexism. You're not taking my reports seriously because I'm a woman," and then it's going to turn into a lawsuit for the company. It's going to be in the media, which is what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? And everybody want to jump on the bandwagon. You got some women looking for a paycheck, clearly. You got some women who really have gone through the situation years ago when it wasn't as easy to come out and get support and be understood as it is now. And there's strength in numbers, unfortunately. One woman, nobody's really going to pay very much mind. It may backfire on her. She may get a lot of backlash. But when you got 20 women saying, no, this man has been sexually harassed, and it's been going on for 10, 15, 20 years. It's support. Everybody's not going to be legitimate. Everyone's not. But
True.
I don't think 20 different women that work there 20 different times that have no relationships with each other are all going to plot on one man all of a sudden to take him down. There's got to be a little truth in the situation.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. At what point are those 20 women complicit in that culture being perpetuated? Because they sat around for decades or for 5 years all together enduring the same shit and not saying anything.
The whole time. But what people are not going to do is try to turn a victim into a perpetrator. That's what they're not going to do, because then they're going to get called out for saying, oh, this woman has been abused and harassed, and she was traumatized by it, and now you're making her be responsible for what happened to her. Just like rape culture, it's a very fine line that you have to walk. It's just
and I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want nobody thinking that I was trying to turn them into the abuser. But we got to have a dialogue about it.
It's a valid question, though. It's a valid question. But that's why when you deal with these corporations, and especially when the person that's being accused is someone of a little bit of power or some kind of standing or clout with that particular company, it's not going to look good to turn around and call the victim, hey, you should have said something earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Because really, you could say, well, what if they were traumatized? Or what if, they needed the job? They had a young family. They were paying their way through school or this, that. You know what I mean? It could be a bunch of reasons why. But me as a person who really believes in accountability and self-responsibility, yeah, there's a little bit of fault that lies with them, too, with not saying anything sooner instead of needing other people to make the platform for you, and then you're encouraged enough to say something. But everybody's not as, everyone's not as strong. Everyone's voice is not as strong,
Oh, and my apologies. Like the live stream just went berserk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, and I just happened to look up and notice that people was in the stream like talking about it. So I don't know if I
Oh,
just
sorry,
erased
guys.
it. Yeah, I did kind of fix
So
it, and then
I just gave that good ass explanation, and they didn't even hear it. Man.
yeah, it was an all right explanation. No, I'm just messing with you.
Thank you,
But
Monica.
yeah, and shout out to the people that kind of tune in on both ways, just because they know I'm pretty much a perpetual fuck up at this. But I'm getting a little bit better. I am getting a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So like at least when I screw up now, I kind of can fix it relatively easy.
No sounds. Monica is not getting any sounds.
Yeah, nobody is, Monica, at this point. But give me 1 second, and we should be fixing that right now. Because I'm listening on my phone, too. I just happened to, I thought it was good, and then for some reason it just went on the fritz. But what I think it was I had the mic sound up for some reason. We should be good, though, because I see it changing on my phone. And in a second, we should be all back, and everybody should be gravy, and then I can apologize officially, and we can keep moving. But shout out to 4122 and 5166 in the queue also. If you do want to get in on the conversation, all you got to do is press 1. And, yeah, I think we good now. All right, fam. My bad. It took me a minute, but hey, if you know, if you listen to the show before, this happens pretty frequently. So we're all right. We keep it moving.
Frequently, occasionally.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Occasionally, I'll take that. But what it was is I was not paying attention to the. And shout out to Monica for being so patient. Shout out to Ronell who just joined, Xavier. Shout out to Frederica, Aisha's page, Lisa. Gee, we got a nice little Dario. Man, shout out to Chester. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. I think I saw Q Butters in there.
No, and salute to the General Hashim Nzinga. Hopefully, did I resolve that echo there, K Mac? Let me know. But anyway, for those that just kind of joined in, it was pretty much kind of just discussing just sexual harassment more globally, for lack of a better term, and we touched on a couple of things that I've experienced over the years. Like one thing for me, especially in the medical profession, is the thongs. Like if you like, first off, that's just inappropriate to wear at work. That really is. It is worn with an intent, for somebody, on the workplace. And if I got to see that multiple times a day, and I'm the only guy on the unit, what am I supposed to think? Like, I don't want to be bothered with that. I'm good. I can go home and get that, but I see this time and time again.
Print of your undergarment. So yeah, that's definitely not appropriate.
Let me know how we sound, Monica. We good? My dance mama take us bra. Yeah, and I do not know, like, I do know that bras are expensive. Don't get me wrong. And when I guess maybe I should have worded that differently. I don't mean like necessarily the bra, the intent with the bra. Like, you don't need the super push-up bra, and like, as a man, and especially as you get older, when somebody's flirting with you.
Okay.
You feel me?
True.
So that's what I mean by the bra. Like, I don't mean it, I mean like somebody that is intentionally, and a lot of times you'll tell a woman, I'm married, and for some reason that's a big thing for her. She now all of a sudden I'm off limits. And it's that, like with that one, it's the same thing for both of us. Sometimes, like, I don't know if men, like, there's not, like, at work, it ain't too much, like, it's a scrub, ain't too much didn't go well.
Mhm.
And thinking back, it's not like I said anything inappropriate at all. I was very polite, but is that viewed as sexual harassment? Like, I wasn't mad at her, but does she then feel like I harassed her because it didn't go well? Like, how do like, how?
Well,
how am I supposed to know?
That's like, it depends on what you said and what kind of woman that she is. Because someone may deem inappropriate may not be inappropriate according to someone else. So That's really subjective. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, the first time, I won't be upset about it, probably no matter what is being said. But after I respond to it and make it clear that I have no interest, if it continues, then that's when it gets annoying. And that's when you're probably going to have an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? So, some people just don't know how to take no for an answer. And honestly, I think we've all gotten sexually harassed in some capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I definitely would agree with that with women, and there have been times where I've seen some things that wasn't necessarily like super overt, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that that can't always be the case. And I've seen nurses walk away from conversations like with doctors, and they would say, I felt uncomfortable. And it's like, what do I do as a man? Like you feel uncomfortable, but you don't want to say anything. Well, I don't want to say anything because now I'm scared that even if I do, you may put your job before wanting to say something, like a lot of people have in the past. And we do got somebody in the queue.
You mean if you see someone else being sexually harassed, what do you do? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen like a nurse have a conversation with a doctor, and I was cool enough with that nurse where she came to me and was like, I felt uncomfortable, X, Y, and Z.
Well, if you're cool with that nurse, then you kind of have a responsibility as an acquaintance or a friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If it's someone that they're meek and kind of shy or timid, you may find that you have a responsibility in that. If it's someone who, they're pretty verbal, then maybe not. Maybe you want to see if they're going to handle the situation themselves. And if it's a stranger, if it's a woman you don't know and you see her getting harassed, then maybe you want to speak up then. But I think that's kind of subjective as well. I don't know. It's really not a good answer because maybe somebody just want to keep their head down and it's not enough of a bother to them to say anything, and they don't want the attention, they don't want the confusion, they don't want to switch jobs, they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's hard.
Yeah, but I look at it like that person is in the driver's seat. If that person is not going to say anything, then, like, why would I say anything? And that's how I justify it. It's like, I put all the onus of the morality in that situation on that person. Like, I'm totally, devoid of that. And I'm not. My moral compass shouldn't be moved by whether or not they want to pursue it. Wrong is just wrong. And hold on, let me get to this caller 6334 right quick. What's good, fam?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm well,
what's going on, Queen?
Nothing much. I found it very interesting that you're talking about the double standard with sexual harassment, and I would have to say that is true.
And you got a background in your phone too. It's like a little echo.
Let me take it off. How about that?
Yeah, I'm definitely
okay. Hello.
Yeah. You know what? Let's see. Just keep on going. I'll try to fix it on my end.
Okay. Well, I know similar to like what you were saying at your job about the moral compass, I basically have that same problem not only at my job but also in the military as well. Because I feel like in that area it becomes a power struggle, because you'll see it, and the first thing you're thinking in the back of your head is, if I step in, what will happen if that business entity retaliates, whether it's a corrective action, whether it's termination, whether it's demotion. Those are the things that come into play, especially when you're dealing with people in upper echelons of corporate entities. When you're dealing with the gender piece of sexual harassment, we live in a very, very, how can I put it, in a very Eurocentric, patriarchal society where it's always, everything is pretty much sexualized, from what you wear to how you look to how you present yourself. And it happens a lot in the workplace. You said the piece about wearing scrubs. Well, there's this company that came out that specifically makes form-fitting scrubs. So curvature that you have shows.
Heavily weighted to what women wear to work. Not saying that men can't wear something, I'm sure you can, but that would be more kind of slanted to. So are we like subconsciously like putting the onus on women?
Yes,
well, no, because
absolutely.
I don't think so, because traditionally the nurturing professions were saturated with women. It's just become a resurgence of men in nursing. If we're specifically talking about nursing and nursing uniforms at the moment, with nurses wearing scrubs and uniform, even in fast food, even in customer service where there's a uniform, to where it has historically been saturated with females because of the nurturing, and honestly have protocols for what happens if you don't abide by